Chapter 521, Guidance of Fate. When Batna turned his gaze back to Lumion, there was a discernible shift in his eyes. The mimicry of Jayaman's sparrow and the apparent recklessness that characterized this guy seemed all too contrived. Beneath the facade lurked cunning and a hint of sinister intent. Anyone falling for his act was in for a world of trouble. Lumion chose not to dwell on how he'd managed to swindle a small fortune out of the swindlers. Instead, together with Batna, he meticulously surveyed the aftermath of the explosion, scrutinizing every detail. Regrettably, even the official Beyonders, armed with their diverse sequences and synergistic combinations, were at a loss, let alone the duo lacking any proficiency in divination or prophecy. Batna absent-mindedly ran his fingers over the finely crafted rapier hanging diagonally at his waist, letting out a sigh. I know it's a long shot, but I can't resist coming here, wasting my time. It's not about the bounty. What adventurer doesn't dream of overnight fame? Hunting down the demon warlock Burman wasn't the only route to fame. Assisting official Beyonders in tracking this wanted criminal, whose bounty rivaled that of a pirate admiral, was a noteworthy feat in itself. Wasn't your primary motivation to gather clues for the money? Lumion inquired, a playful smile on his face. Well, that's a secondary motive, Batna awkwardly defended himself. Suddenly, he had a realization. He never explicitly mentioned that his investigation aimed at accumulating clues for monetary gain. He merely thought about it. Can he read my thoughts, or is he just bluffing? Batna scrutinized Lumion with a perplexed expression. Lumion chuckled. Don't let your thoughts betray you. If you cross paths with a spectator, your secrets won't stay hidden. Batna instinctively lifted his right hand and touched his face. Is my expression management that bad? He vented his frustration with a muttered curse. With the scene in this level of chaos and no traces left on the nearby streets, unless a deity blesses me, or I'm imbued with luck, finding any clues is like searching for a needle in a haystack. How about we grab a drink instead? Luck, finding clues doesn't necessarily hinge on good luck. Bad luck could work just as well. Lumion's heart stirred as he pulled a bandage from his pocket and calmly wrapped it around his eyes. Batna Kumte, utterly bewildered, couldn't help but ask, "What on earth are you doing?" Blindfolding, relying solely on instinct to navigate the nearby streets eliminates external influences and unleashes the full force of luck, Lumion explained with a chuckle. Perhaps today, luck is truly on my side. According to Franca, a mystical catastrophe detector like him didn't need conventional clues or intel. He might just stumble upon the person involved while strolling around. In that case, Lumion decided to follow the whims of fate this time. If he succeeded, he could use the demon warlock or related clues to claim a handsome bounty. If he failed, it would prove Franca's words to be nothing but baseless slander. Batna couldn't help but wonder if Louis Barry had lost his mind. Can you really do that? There's no harm in trying, Lumion replied confidently, blindfolded and ready to step onto the street. After a few paces, he abruptly halted. Blindfolding, he realized, was useless for hunters. The path he had taken and the scenes he had observed while searching for clues were vividly etched in his mind, meticulously arranged according to their real-world locations. Essentially, he possessed a high-definition mental map of the surrounding streets, allowing him to reach shops and buildings with uncanny precision. With a hunter's exceptional control over their body and direction, even without sight, coupled with heightened senses of smell and hearing, Lumion couldn't help but conclude that relying on the whims of fate was redundant. After a moment of contemplation, he began to ponder his next move freely. Demon Warlock Burman's elusive escapes hints at special abilities or possessions, granting him such freedom. Can he teleport away like me, alter his appearance and height at will, or perhaps even disguise himself as someone of a different gender? Despite numerous bloody and cruel experiments, Burman has evaded capture, suggesting conventional methods and thinking wouldn't suffice. Can I change my mindset and let him take the initiative to appear? Yes, if we can't find him, we can make him come to us. His primary concern is resurrecting his wife, Helen. If I can fabricate a few cases of resurrection or discuss resurrection at certain mysticism gatherings and provide verifiable mysticism knowledge in related domains, this demon warlock might very well follow the clues I left behind. However, this plan faces two challenges. The official Beyonders might have attempted similar schemes, and Berman, being cautious, could see through them. Additionally, the time needed for setup and waiting could be weeks or even months, a luxury I lack in Port Farim. I can only weave the plan gradually into mysticism gatherings and bar conversations, occasionally revealing secrets to make it more realistic and my motives less apparent. Lost in his thoughts, Lumion relied on Batna Comte for occasional support, preventing mishaps during their walk. When Lumion had a complete, albeit time-consuming plan, he stopped, removed the bandage covering his eyes, and smiled at Batna. "Where are we? My intuition says there might be clues about the demon warlock hidden here." "It's a regular street with regular houses. The residents seem wealthy and powerful," Batna replied helplessly. Lumion finally caught sight of the evening sun. As Lumion adjusted to the evening sun, his eyes narrowed, and his heart quickened. Although unfamiliar with many streets in Port Farim, his instinctive journey guided by fate had led him to a familiar place, 16 Rue Correas. The adjacent grayish-brown building, adorned with a sculpted outer wall, belonged to Fidel Guerra, the prominent merchant. Lumion had reserved colorful bearded horned lizard venom here last night and accepted a commission to hunt down Black Baronet-class Kizzy. "Tema Burrows, are you behind this?" Lumion's immediate instinct was to question the inevitability angel sealed within him. Terma Burrows remained silent, leaving Batna, standing beside Lumion, puzzled. He couldn't fathom who Louis Barry was addressing. If Terma Burrows didn't intentionally lead me here, then something in Fidel Guerra's house is aligning with my fate. Is it an item related to the hunter pathway, or connected to an evil god? Or could the clues to demon warlock Berman's whereabouts truly be found at Fidel's residence? Lumion's mind raced as he rapidly considered a series of possibilities. Staring at Fidel's building, he evaluated the likelihood of the demon warlock's presence. Berman, engaged in numerous resurrection experiments, likely struggled to complete his preparations alone. Snatching various resources would draw the attention of both official Beyonders and pirates who sought his capture. Only the assistance of other evil warlocks could provide him with the necessary help. If a well-connected merchant like Fidel supported him in secret, Berman wouldn't face difficulties obtaining experimental materials. For Fidel, with a sequence possibly not high enough, having a demon warlock reliant on him for covert protection is undoubtedly advantageous. Considering Fidel's clandestine business, vulnerable to attacks from powerful pirates or adventurers, having a demon warlock at his disposal makes sense. In case of future conflicts with authorities, the warlock could shield him, enabling a change of identity and a fresh start in another city or country. According to Auror's insights, such individuals often maintain fake identities and reserve assets in multiple places. Last night, soon after I met Fidel, a mishap occurred involving the demon warlock's failed experiment. Lumion averted his gaze. Lumion increasingly suspected that the merchant, Fidel Guerra, had motives to shield demon warlock Berman. Of course, if Terma Burrows intentionally guided him here, the situation would only become more complex and serious. "What are you looking at?" Batna inquired, following Lumion's gaze to 16 Rue Correas. "I met Fidel Guerra, a prominent merchant, here last night and received a commission from him," Lumion replied candidly. "What commission?" Batna asked with curiosity. Lumion responded with a smile. "Hunt the captain of the Golden Nepos, Black Baronet-class Kizzy." "Is the rumor true that Black Baronet-class hijacked Fidel's shipment? Fidel hired numerous adventurers to deal with Black Baronet," Batna enlightened before lowering his voice. "Don't tell anyone about this." "Why?" Lumion inquired with a smile. Batna, stroking his neatly trimmed stubble, whispered, "These bounties and commissions don't necessitate actual acceptance, nor do they require success. Yes, if word gets out that an adventurer plans to hunt a pirate, and they're not too far apart, revenge from said pirate is inevitable. It's both a punishment and a warning." Baronet Black is a notorious pirate. If he catches wind that a newcomer like you is taking on a mission to hunt him and is spreading the news, do you think he'll take offense? He might track you down and use your demise as a lesson for other adventurers and Fidel. Baronet Black is indeed in Port Farim. Lumion nodded thoughtfully. That's a smart approach. Smart, Batna was momentarily taken aback. In the evening, at a bar, Lumion, Batna, and the others had been reveling for nearly 2 hours, filled with joy and excitement. Suddenly, Lumion lifted his glass and descended from the bar stool to the floor. Addressing the adventurers and ordinary patrons around him, he declared, "Everyone, remember my name, Louis Barry. I'm on the brink of fame. I've accepted a commission from the prominent merchant, Fidel. My objective is to track down Black Baronet Class Kizzy. When I succeed, the name Louis Barry will echo across the 5 seas. When that time comes, you'll proudly say you shared a drink with me." Batna froze on the bar stool. It felt like witnessing Louis Barry, once again leaping onto the wooden platform and firing his gun the night before.